Gaurav joining us live for more on that. Gaurav, you've been tracking developments, the Hindu families, many of them who feel that they're being targeted. And it appears that they're all coming in the ire of angry mobs, protesters who are just vandalizing anything that comes in their way. Particular target of some temples and Hindu homes have been reported.
Nabila, the information that we've been able to glean seems to indicate that there is very specific targeting of Hindus. What started off as popular unrest or uprising against the Sheikh Hasina government has morphed itself into some kind of a radical Islamist movement where minorities and especially Hindus in Bangladesh are being singled out, they are being targeted, their homes are being vandalized, plundered, looted. Temples have been targeted, improvised explosive devices have been set off in temples, and this isn't random. This isn't a mob moving in one direction and targeting everything that comes in the line of fire. This is very specific targeting of Hindu temples and homes and across 27 districts in Bangladesh. And this is not Indian intelligence inputs or somebody that may be saying this in India. This is the Daily Star in Bangladesh that's actually collated details in the past 24 to 48 hours of what's been brewing and happening in Bangladesh. So, for example, in Khulna, the Okia Parishad President Biman Bihari and Amit Bihari, their houses were ransacked. In Haisi Ghati, in Rupsha police station area, Shamal Kumar Das and Sujan Das, their houses were looted and ransacked. Meherpur, of course, you saw what happened to the ISKCON temple, where Yudhishthir Govind Das, the ISKCON spokesperson, said that the deities of Bhagwan Jagannath, Balbhadra and Subhadra Devi, they were specifically targeted. The temple was targeted. Temple gold and money kept in the temple was looted by the people who targeted the temple. Chinmoy Krishan Das, the president of ISKCON Chittagong, has said that Chittagong temple is also under threat. The Indian Cultural Center in Dhaka was targeted, and this is a very long list. So this isn't random targeting. This is very specific targeting of Hindu homes, of Hindu businesses, of localities, forcing several Hindus now to think that they may have to abandon Bangladesh and seek shelter and protection in India.
Well, I'm going to come to you on that, Gaurav, on what the Indian government is mulling over doing for the Hindu community in Bangladesh at the moment. But if I could bring in Junaid Khan, journalist from Bangladesh. Junaid, we know that the mob is angry. It's been difficult for the army also to contain the situation at this point. And we know that there have been huge losses within Bangladesh itself. Like, for example, I'm reading about an actor's son, father-son duo, Shanto Khan, Salim Khan, who've been murdered by the mob. So the mob really, blinded by the anger, killing people as and when for reasons still unknown. Gaurav tells us there's particular targeting on the Hindu community. Would you want to elaborate?
Yeah, I want to start with this picture. Let me show you. This is the picture of our building office where Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina used to come and sit and address to the people. This is the current situation of this office, and this is in Tezgaon. And now about the targeted vandalism. This is actually they are burning, they are looting everything which is on their way to run. And these people are not from any specific party. They are not from the protesters. Those are not from the students. These are like whoever in this mob. They are not in good intention. They are doing it for their own satisfaction, own anger. This is actually there is a common phenomena that Hindus and Awami League has a common allies. They are allies. That's why there are some targeted vandalism in mandirs and Hindu people's homes.
Could you repeat that again, Junaid? You said that there's this perception that Sheikh Hasina is friendly with Hindus.
Yes, this is the common phenomena. This is the common mindset of the people that Hindus are allies with Awami League. That's why that move is running to the houses of Hindu people. but the situation is not common for all Bangladesh. This happened
Junaid,
last
in
night,
that
and now
case,
the
if
people.
that's what you say, if you're saying that there's a perception that Sheikh Hasina is friendly with Hindus, then I'm assuming, and I'm now hard pressed to believe that there are Islamists, extremists, radicals who have infiltrated these protests, who have sabotaged these protests. I'm not too sure if the students would have this kind of hatred for
No,
the
no,
Hindu
no, no
community,
students, no
except
students,
for
no
the radical
students.
Islamists. So it's clear that the radical Islamists have taken part in these protests, influenced and brainwashed the minds of the young students who are protesting.
No students are in this vandalism. I was in Gana Bhavan last day. You saw the picture. I was only media in Bangladesh who was in Gana Bhavan in that moment, and it was a life risk. But I haven't seen any students, those who are vandalizing or looting the Gana Bhavan.
But we're looking at scores, Junaid. We're seeing scores of students. Are you saying that you have that many radical Islamists who are thriving in Bangladesh that they are now all out on the streets?
Yes, they are all out in the streets after 16 years of anger, and they are not in screen for 16 years. The Juddha Paradhi case, who was not in favor of our freedom fight, that was in court. So Jamaat has been banned. So every people, those who are not in power in last 16 years, they came out on the road, and the specific thing is those who are in looting, they are not from any party, I believe, because I haven't seen any respectable leader, or any posted leader. Those who are in this vandalism,
Right.
they came from they came from various bosti, the slums, and they are just looted everything in their way.
What a shame,
But
right,
about
Junaid? What a shame. Gaurav, Junaid says that these were radicals who were hiding for the last 15 years. Now it's all that pent-up anger and energy coming out on the streets and that hate on full display.
Well, that hate was always on full display. Yes, Sheikh Hasina to an extent had been able to counter some of these elements and ban the Jamaat. But the Jamaat-e-Islami has been extremely strong. The Jamaat-e-Islami has run Bangladesh. Begum Khalida Zia.
in 2000, in 2010, 2001.
You're absolutely right. And the fact that these radical Islamists are back on the streets, frankly, it's the radical Islamists who were riding piggyback on student unrest. So students were used to get rid of Sheikh Hasina, and now the radical Islamists have taken over. And this is very specific targeting of Hindus, which actually happened even when Sheikh Hasina was in power. But at least when she was in power, there would be a semblance of a crackdown. Now there is absolutely no semblance of any crackdown. And as the ISKCON temple priest said, they reached out to the Rapid Action Battalion of the Bangladesh Security Forces. The Rapid Action Battalion did not intervene. The police came. But when the police saw this mob of radical Islamists, the police ran away. So, let's state facts. Let's state facts the way facts are in Bangladesh. This isn't a romantic revolution. This is radical Islamists taking over a country, and they will run that country to the ground like they did in the past. They've run that country to the ground in the past. They will do it once again. Unfortunately, we'll all witness this and suffer this in this neighborhood. Nabila, we've reported this even in Pakistan, when the establishment in Pakistan would say, oh, it's not us, it is Lashkar-e-Taiba, and it is Jaish-e-Mohammed, and it's Hizbul Mujahideen, and these are terrorists. These are non-state actors. There is absolutely no difference in Pakistan between non-state actors, semi-state actors, and state actors, because they all act in tandem. Unfortunately, in the days, weeks, and months ahead, unless there is a massive crackdown, that's exactly what we'll see even in Bangladesh, with Pakistan's ISI making deeper inroads, and our friend from Bangladesh knows that.
Let me say
Junaid, please. What do you have to say, Junaid, on that?
This was the situation of last night. This was the situation of last night. Even someone saying he called the RAB, they cannot help. He called police. Police, they just fled from the place. In all Bangladesh, the police was last night the main target. Every thana, I mean the police station, at least as per my knowledge, there is 20 to 30 Thana police station were attacked, and they just moved at night by firing and move technique. So police was not in position to help any people, not Hindus. They are not in a position to help any people, even themselves. So this was the situation of last night. After that, from this morning, the other people of Bangladesh, they are protecting the mandirs, they are protecting the
No, you're absolutely right. But who are they protecting these temples from? Clearly, the protection of temples is not from Martians from outer space. The protection that Hindu temples require or Hindu community requires in Bangladesh is from radical Islamists in Bangladesh. And unfortunately, this tendency to give this cover fire that this is some glorious revolution or Bangla Spring like the Arab Spring. Nabila, I've reported the Arab Spring on ground. I reported what was happening in Egypt. I was in Cairo when that revolution, that so-called revolution was taking place, and the impact of that was also visible on ground and how radical Islamists took over. Similarly, in Libya, what happened and the impact on ground. So basically,
Gaurav,
what we are noticing is radical Islamists are riding this wave
their
of
action
popular
cannot
unrest,
be...
and they are now going to control, which is the big concern. They will now control Bangladesh. Not good news for Bangladesh. Clearly not good news for India, and certainly not good news for Hindu minorities.
Let's have that last word from Junaid himself. Junaid, yeah, please go on.
This is not definite that they are going to control the Bangladesh. Let's see what happens, because the interim government has not started yet. This will be in the evening, maybe this evening. Interim government will announce,
Okay.
and after that you can say that they are control or not, because this is a common perception. After 15 years, they just came out from their hideouts, and they did everything. They burned everything in their way. This was last night's incident. Now see what happened from today.
Junaid, but you agree?
I think
So a takeaway from the conversation I've had with you is that you agree that there are radical Islamic groups that sabotage the entire agitation.
Yeah,
you agree that they are out on the streets.
From the very first. They are on the road from the very first day of this protest.
So when Sheikh Hasina called many of those protesters terrorists, she wasn't wrong.
I don't want to comment on this because now the situation is. I just looking forward to see what happens next.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much, Junaid and Gaurav, for joining us on that.